We are back with actually week 172. Commentary Riker from the last episode really dropped the ball on that one. Uh, but yeah, this is the week before the next big endurance race, which is the Laguna Seca 50 miles, if I do recall correctly, and I would hope to God that I do. Still kind of funny that, oh yeah, we couldn't do the Independence 50, I think it was. I already forgot the distance it was supposed to be when we planned to, which would have been week 170. But we keep running at Watkins Glen anyway. We just couldn't schedule a long event. GT7 load all the car's liveries when I open the replay challenge. Difficulty very hard. We are green from Watkins Glen to get the week started with the 600 class heading down towards the first corner. And remember, I think it's 3 debuting cars in this race. Shiro Suzuka, not in a debuting car, obviously, is the POV driver. Getting a little loose as Anderson nearly cuts him off, but on the way up the S's. Try to get a peek at the new cars, starting with Maki Nishikino's Maserati Merak. This thing is shockingly cheap. And the other 2 new cars are currently fighting for 4th, and it wasn't really that much of a fight. Matt Clinton drives a interesting-looking Mini Cooper S. He was actually, I believe, on the front row, and has very quickly fallen down to 5th. Probably due to being in the car. Looking for a pass on Yo Watanabe, and he might get it because he's got the inside. Got dust picked up back here, and I don't see any damaged cars, so if there was contact, it must not have been much. And the last new vehicle, Storm Rose, with a chili-themed Chevrolet Chevelle. He's looking for a second on Pablo Hernandez, trying to make it a Demon Sports 1-2. The debuting car is currently running 3, 4, and 5 at the current moment. Yes, it's a currently right. The POV driver is rapidly approaching them in 7th, and now, immediately as I say that, he's 6th. So, yeah, all of our ducks are kind of in a row. Maki is probably going to pass Clinton in the near future, per the looks of things. Down the inside at the bus stop, almost said carousel. Bit of a dogfight, but I think Maki will, she will win that eventually. Storm's still looking for a way ahead of the 505 car. And that's a better run out of the that is the carousel. Which means he might have it here. He's ahead at the braking zone. How brave is Pablo? He is quite brave. And he's going to hang that M3 around the long way and stay in P2 for the time being. Meanwhile, Storm's team owner, Logan, holds just about a second worth of distance between himself and the BMW. They were at a dead heat as they crossed the line. Suzuka is going to join the party. This is archetypal speed versus power, but I think Storm Rose has finally found the advantage. So it is now Demon Sports 1-2. Shiro Suzuka looking like he's going to change that post-haste. Had a little contact at the second part of the S's, but yeah, Storm's time in P2 was very short indeed. Now it is Suzuka versus Logan Poole, the Corvette driver. Defends-ish into the bus stop chicane. Gets a poor run on the way out, so that allows the 98 car to contest for the lead. Just 3 laps into the race. I think Logan just brake-checked him on the way out of the carousel. Sure did, yeah. That's not very fucking sporting. I know Logan has often talked about his basically foolproof defense strategy of just be too slow to overtake. But that's a little excessive, and that's allowed his teammate Storm to try and pass him at the second to last turn. Suzuka will fend that off, though, and have another shot at the 83 car, maybe, going down into T1, but the Corvette will have the straight line advantage, I think. Logan again defends into 1, and that's really going to hurt him, as he has absolutely zero exit speed. In the background, Maki is trying to get 4th out of the hands of Pablo Hernandez. And Storm is watching this battle proceed for the race lead. Bars. He might get into it, actually. He's just about close enough. He could try and make both passes at once. Logan's gonna put Suzuka damn near in the grass. And yeah, here comes Storm Rose. He's gonna try and take it all, both from Suzuka and from his own team owner. Through the bus stop chicane, Chevelle is now the race leader. Suzuka has the inside on Logan, whose line has been taken away from him by that. Storm actually blocks Logan, not Shiro, which is interesting, but it doesn't really matter. He's going to outspeed both of them. Around the long way, Suzuka just about manages. As close as you can really get to contact, but there wasn't any. Maki in the background did get that 4th spot away from the BMW driver. Logan could have a move on Suzuka at turn 1. Can't brake late enough. Older car, weaker brakes, I suppose. Although none of these cars in the top 5 are particularly new. But Logan's is by far the oldest. Suzuka with a great run up the S's, voice crack. The much lighter car is going to have more mobility. And Storm is going to this time actually put him in the grass. Suzuka keeps the car basically straight, though. Should be a test of his temperament, I suppose. I mean, you're literally getting done dirty by Demon Sports. How do you react? Your next choices may determine if you even see the racetrack. Storm also tried to brake test on the way out of the carousel, but Suzuka wasn't even on that line anyway, so it didn't matter. The Chevelle just has so much more horsepower that it's able to just counteract Suzuka's far better handling and racecraft. 2 laps to go at the line here. And I just have this sinking feeling that this is going to end in somebody getting spun out. My safe money is bet on Suzuka being the one to go backwards. Demon Sports probably... Storm is probably going to get a little too eager on defense one of these times. I just feel it. Suzuka slips ahead on the way up the S's. Maybe I need to open my mouth and insert my foot, because it seems like none of those may come true. Suzuka can take this opportunity and get away, but good luck with that. That Chevelle's got way more horsepower than an 8.6. Sending it down the inside. Meanwhile, Logan still has to fend off Maki in the background, and he may be unsuccessful. The 2 leaders are still fighting it out on the way down the carousel. And Suzuka is clear again, and immediately moves over to the far side of the course. Storm still keeping his cars there. Suzuka's not able to take any good corners, not clear. Tried to clear himself on the way into the last turn. Storm still had his bumper there, and I'm sure car number 982 is really going to be a fan of that. Yeah, just barely had his chrome bumper in there effectively, and not much more, but Suzuka was lucky that didn't do serious damage to his car. It is going to cost him the lead. See if he can outbrake Storm to get it back. Survey says no. Should still have the advantage up the S's, as we have covered multiple times to this point. Indeed he does. He flat-foots the S's. And yeah, that's about what I expected. Storm tries to go for the takedown effectively. Not pleased with his attempt at clearing him on the way into the final turn. Shiro Suzuka keeps the car clean and just blitzes the shit out of Storm Rose at the the bus stop chicane, not the carousel. He has his turn signals on. Well, you were both kind of a little hazardous, but yeah, Storm was definitely the more obvious one here. But it ain't like you're innocent, Suzuka. You were also a little bit clumsy, not noticing he was alongside you, but Storm noticed he was alongside you and didn't care, and it's gonna cost him at the end of the race here. 9.5 minutes later, here comes car number 98, Victory at Watkins Glen. He damn near got his fastest lap of the race despite being put in the grass. And it is 2:37 for our debuting class of this race. 7th in a front-wheel drive Mini is not something to sneeze at either. Although he did start on pole, I think. Pole or second place. He was on the front row, point is. Maki gets a podium. 4-6 for... Or 4-6, I guess 12. And then 15. I forgot I was even in this race. This was just such a dull race for me. I was like the last of cars that didn't get damaged throughout the runtime. So I just tried to repress that shit. My throat is trying to as well, so... Yeah, definitely time for a throat break here in between rounds. Get a load of that California coast scenery board, basically. As you can see, my throat is very clearly not rested all the way yet, but we are going to head to Grand Valley Highway, head due west across the country from New York to Cali. Call this the Cannonball Run. Fuck me. Anyway, yeah, 715 class, so a huge jump in performance from the 600 to 715, but also we're running a much longer track. We are not running the midget layout, as Logan is seemingly contractually obligated to call it. And we are away. Maki, who finished third at Watkins Glen, is on the front row. She might be the leader here, but Ice has the inside because of being on the pole. Honoka might also get involved. Mercury Racing trying to ambush Brian Ice off the grid here from Grand Valley Highway. Tank Tomlin, Southern Speed Co. driver, is our POV driver in this race. He's looking for a second win, and one that's maybe not just a class win. But he first needs to iron out the aggression a little bit. He can't win the race if he breaks his car. And that's something he's had many problems with, is just braking too late and damaging his front bumper. It's also pissed a lot of people off, but never in any kind of long-term sense, because it never seems malicious, just kind of clumsy. I think he's even gotten into me once or twice before. There is a level of aggression that is necessary when you are driving a Group 3 car in the Challenge Series, because you can't just make passes with sheer overall performance in a straight line. It's all about aero. You have to get them done on the way into corners. Which means usually braking way later than everybody else, because you can. You just have to do it in a way that doesn't put you directly into the back of somebody else's car. Bit of dirt kicked up. Jack Carver's had an awful first lap. He started third, and he is down to 15th and falling ever further. He doesn't even have damage. He's just been that bad on this first lap. That needs to be studied, as I'm among the many bodies that were claimed at turn 1. Six of us get damage on the first lap, and most of that all came from the first turn, or the S's. That puts Tomlin in 10th. Other than me, Mercury Racing is doing pretty solid at the moment. And Ellie, who's last of the cars who did not get damaged and just slipped ahead of Heath Kilgore to move into 13th. I lead the cars that did get damaged because I got driven to the back of by Dante Wright, because he got driven to the back of by his teammate Pugachev. So that was a great chain reaction. Yeah, Brian might be leading, but 2-3-5 for the rest of my team. It's nice to know that they can in fact carry me sometimes. My back is getting a little sore, I must admit, and they know that. They've effectively said, yeah, I have the right to joke about that. Milo is very sideways. And Tomlin is just looking for a chance. Hey look, there's the chance. And off he goes. Into P9 for the Evo Group 3. And he's gonna have so much more aero, he can just take those corners basically flat. But that all comes to a head right here because now all of that aero is also gonna be his downfall, and here comes John Garrison to take back what was originally his. Later on the brakes helps that he can maybe use Derek De La Cruz as a pick. Nope, instead they're actually gonna be 3 wide on the way out. That is a tight-ass squeeze. Something's got to give here, and it's going to be Tomlin, who crosses John Garrison over at a high-speed S and gets his team. Holy fucking shit, that made no sense. But it worked, I guess. The replay didn't give a great view of this, so Garrison just kind of sends it in without even really caring if Tomlin's there. Gets a little bit of contact with De La Cruz. Garrison nearly puts De La Cruz in the wall. Some might say he actually did put him in the wall, and that bounces him down into Tomlin. So they're stuck 3 wide heading out of turn 1. Tomlin cannot get enough power, but he does have the aero to just squeeze right in between the 2 cars and move himself to P7. And on the brakes, he nearly got up to Paul Valentine in 6th. The field is bunched up a lot here in the top 5. Ice does not have the pace he did on the first lap. And Burt Wheeler, along with the rest of Mercury Racing, who are not having a bad day, are in hot pursuit of that Diablo. And with Tomlin getting ahead of Paul Valentine, I think at the hairpin there, he will probably be joining that soon enough. We'll jump ahead to the end of the lap. And the start of lap 4. Ice, he got his stuff back together in the final sector of the lap and managed to get a solid lead again. Honoka is actually putting pressure on Maki to get up to 2nd. And Nico is going to try and get ahead of Burt Wheeler for 4th. Looks like that will be a success. And the 63 of Tank Tomlin has arrived. And Burt Wheeler is not prepared. Gonna embarrass car number 717 in the S's. I guess what else could he really do, though? This is an aerodynamic machine. The NSX is not. I mean, it is, but it's not a Group 3 car. Wrap the long way around Nico Yazawa, make a little bit of contact, because Nico got some understeer, I think. Arcs it into the hairpin. He knows how to play the momentum game. He knows what he has to do in this car to achieve results. It's not easy to, I can tell you that. Brian's still a safe-ish distance away, not under any immediate threat from the Ferrari in his mirrors. But Honoka might be under some threat from that Lancer, and she knows that she's going to go defensive into the corner at the tunnel. And, well, it's not like Tank was really going to be much of a threat to pass there anyway. He doesn't have straight line performance. He does have better brakes, and the ability to not miss the chicane, though. And that is going to be Honika's downfall. So Tank Tomlin up to the podium places as he approaches the final lap of the race. And you can just see the cornering speed difference right there. That's going to get him ahead of Maki for a moment at most, before Maki's just going to use Slipstream off of Brian Ice to get back by. Apparently Nico did a little bit of contact to get ahead of Burt, and didn't execute the bump and run properly. Was not even aware of that happening. Probably because I'm back here in fucking 15th. Meanwhile, at the start of this lap, both McIntosh and Carver got real loose on the way into turn 1, and it resulted in Tyler getting into the back of his own driver. Neither one of them really had any kind of grip on the way in, so it's not really like it was anybody's fault. White flag, Ice is slipping around on the way into turn 1, much like we saw Carver and McIntosh doing on the replay. Now's not the time to do that, because Maki is going to be in attack mode, and Tank Tomlin, who is by far the fastest car on this track, is right there. And he's going to embarrass the Ferrari in the S's. Again, he is making up so many places through there with his additional aerodynamic grip courtesy of being in a Group 3 car. Dips a tire in the dirt. He is pushing that thing to its limit to try and get to the race lead. But he's going to have to pull a fast one on ice, I'm pretty sure. He's not going to be able to just pass him with power, because that's a fucking Diablo up there. You just got to stay close enough and then use his arrow to either ambush him at that chicane or just out-corner him on the final 3 turns and just hope he has enough of an advantage so that Ice cannot get to him on the straightaway before he crosses the finish line. He has to outmaneuver the richest man in Canada. Not impossible, it's actually pretty common. Ice is going to defend into the bridge section. He's going to block Tank. And it still doesn't matter because it's just the difference in grip and in confidence. And that might be a safe enough lead. Down to the wire, your winner is Tank Tomlin in the 63. Brian Ice maybe a half a car behind, and it's going to be a 3-4-5. No. That's right, Nico got damaged. 3-4 for Mercury Racing. Maki with another podium. She has been consistently there this week up to this point. 2 third-place finishes, but has not been able to challenge for a race win yet. You don't hear much from Sam Squadron, but they also pick up a decent day with 5 and 6. But a lot of their other cars were involved on lap 1 scuffles. Dante Wright, David Danvers, and Anatoly Pugachev. So, and I didn't even get to lead all the cars that got damaged. Nico came out way ahead of me on the pits after she got her damage. But victorious is Tank Tomlin despite all those other teams. Also, yeah, Brian, Pacific Spirit really in the mud today as well. It is raining in Tokyo. My throat is still not okay. It's still not working with me here. I really should have just stopped in between races, but no, I'm stubborn and dumb and don't have good ideas. Yeah, so Tokyo East. It's wet. It's not quite a downpour, but it's enough to force you to put intermediate tires on. And this is the 640 class taking the track, so even if it were more torrential, we're not going really all that fast outside of the front straightaway. Or it would be like a cause for like safety concerns and such. And we are away from Tokyo East. The races in this episode have been pretty long, so I don't know if this race is going to be any different. 4 laps doesn't seem like much here, but in the rain, when we aren't exactly in the fastest cars, god damn, that pan is hauling. Mark Wilde is going to take off from pole. That thing is very light, very powerful. It will not have much grip in this rain, but 185 in 640 class is absolutely unhinged, and he's going to have a very clear track ahead of him. And behind him, for that matter, as the scuffle in the mid-pack continues. Taro has massive damage to his car. Harada, Angelos, Thrasher, Diamante, others have damage of their own. Logan Cool is the POV driver in the Fallout Camaro, as he refers to it. Because all the logos on it are logos from the Fallout series. Duh. If I say duh, everybody knows really Fallout that well, but... anyway. My throat is falling apart. It's not like, oh, I'm sick. It's just congestion. The congestion is difficult to commentate through, and you're hearing why as I'm clearing my throat constantly, coughing and sniffling. I tried to get it out of there, but it just did not leave. It seems like every time I do get some out, more takes its fucking place, and it's starting to tilt me a little bit. Kotori with damage. Okay, Tokyo Eastman, who doesn't have damage? It's always a massive concertina into both turn 1 and the hairpin here. Well, the top 5 don't have damage. I wonder why. Actually, the top 8. Kotori is the first one that'll have to come in ready. That was the camera. Why were we looking at it? I got through clean. Just because I was too slow to run into anybody and just fast enough not to get run into. Like a welcome change from last time out. 175, 176 for the Fallout Camaro. Logan's gears are stretched a little longer because of that front straightaway, and that's why he didn't really get too far off the start. But it probably helped him in the long run, because it meant he wasn't in that giant pack of cars all fighting for real estate at T1. And now he is reaping the benefits ahead of Nico alongside Connor Nazang in the EK Civic, and that should be a done deal, basically. Now he must pass the Toyota minivan of Michiko Taniguchi, and then he's got to catch probably the best suited car for these conditions, an Evo 4. All-wheel drive, already kind of tuned for rally racing and low grip situations. I'm surprised he's not catching Mark Wilde quicker. That's probably because this thing's doing 180 on the way down to turn 1. Probably more than that. That was only the run from the start line to turn 1. This thing's probably getting up to like 190 on a good lap. And Logan will dispatch the 87 with relative ease. So maybe we got the wrong idea. We got the wrong concept of what cars are good. Uh-oh. I don't like the look of those flashing lights from Logan Cool. Oh, yeah, contact back. Bumper to the back of the 516. And he's gonna turn the Stingray, damaging the right rear suspension, and he's gonna rejoin directly into the 45 car's path, giving him damage. Which is clumsy. Meanwhile, I was also clumsy. I may have used the wrong overhead sign to brake, and even then I still got run into by Tokayama, so I was just sandwiched between Cassiopeia cars, and oops. Yeah, not my finest moment, but I feel like a lot of these cars up here would have gotten damage even if I wasn't involved. It seems kind of like Tokayama would have probably just pushed me into Mitsurugi regardless. I may be making excuses. Nico's fine though. Unfortunately, she does not have the longest gears, so she's not really able to make up any time on the lead 3. Yeah, Nico and the fucking minivan have the exact same top speed, 150. Meanwhile, 165 and 167. Yeah, Rantanen, well, probably used the fact that Logan decided to cost himself all of his speed to dump Mark Wilde. I'm assuming payback for the Montreal Minute, when Mark Wilde missed his braking point into turn 1 midway through the race and smacked Logan out of the way. I'm assuming that's what that's payback for. Not to mention, I know that's not the first time Mark Wilde has crashed into a Demon Sports car, and if I remember it, I am certain Logan does. So that's probably a couple of receipts being shoved back in Mark Wilde's face, and I guess if he's gonna do it, he does it at a slow corner, rather than just yeet somebody off the track at, like, I don't know. You can't really do it anywhere else here. The other corners don't have enough braking to really give you a solid takeout. Well, Nico might be weak in the straight line department, but unsurprisingly, the GR Yaris is cornering a lot better than a literal van. She might be on track for a podium, a third consecutive podium for Mercury Racing this week. Yeah, that's where she just gets it done at the hairpin, and probably has just enough acceleration and straight line speed to stay ahead of the van long enough to get down to turn 1. And there is everybody else who has gotten damage at least once in this race. Kotori leads the cars with damage. She got damage on lap 1 and is now 5th place. Because 4 cars, really only 3 because Logan just isn't pitting because he's stubborn like that. 3 cars, Sami Rantanen, Nico Yazawa, Michiko Taniguchi, who's now getting a lot of speed in the slipstream in that van. That's gotta be fucking terrifying. And Michiko will get back ahead of Nico with just a little bit extra straight line speed in the fucking minivan. That sounds stupid, but I know why Nico's gears are this short, because she's probably still running the same setup from when this was her dirt division car, and it just didn't matter too much, because this is the first track she's taken her Yaris to where straight line speed has been that important. She does reclaim the spot on the way into turn 1, being able to, funnily enough, outbrake a van. It's a goofy fight between 2 Toyotas, must admit. Mark Wilde got ahead of Kotori on the front stretch, so the guy that should probably be leading this race, or at least second, is going to get back into 5th, but yeah. 3 cars got through this race without damage. Sure enough, Nico and Michiko are fighting for 3rd, and they're doing so very cleanly, despite their dramatic difference in vehicle attributes. Rantanen just exists, and Logan is about 1 hairpin and a long straightaway away from absolutely dominating this race. It makes you wonder what his winning margin would have been if he didn't wreck Mark Wilde. Unfortunately, he hasn't actually done anything terribly wrong. I mean, yeah, you're not supposed to just go out of your way to wreck somebody, but I mean, I'm not going to say Mark Wilde had it coming. I'm not going to say he didn't either. Rantanen will be a clear 2nd place. Nico should be able to win the drag race over the minivan in the short range to get to 3rd. Kotori is going to steal 5th back from Mark Wilde. Logan Cool is going to pull the E-brake to celebrate his questionable victory. Yeah, sure, you show off about that. Rantanen 2nd. Nice ceiling. And that's the end of the replay. Shit. They did not get to the line before the replay ended because they were so far behind Logan, but I think we can safely say Nico would have beaten Taniguchi to the line, but not by much. Kotori will be best of the rest, best of the damaged cars in a race that'll be a little expensive for everybody that's not named Sami Rantanen, Michiko Taniguchi, or Nico Yazawa. Not that I really think Logan cares about having to do these repairs. He's definitely grinning like a shit-eater in that car, saying, worth it! We head to, well, the Middle East. Not quite Europe yet, but it's considered part of Europe in this game's world map. The Yas Marina circuit will host the 675 category for Thursday night, or actually more like technically Friday morning, but it's considered Thursday anyway because of just how the Challenge Series works. Don't question it too much. The Thursday edition of the Challenge Series, we'll say. And there is the green light, and four-wheel drive advantage will... Actually, no, I think it's the Polestar there is also four-wheel drive. It's just really freaking heavy. So Cam might get ahead of it. No. Never mind. Inside line for DD driver is gonna get him ahead. Or really it. Since, you know, that's not really a person driving that thing, that's just a self-driving system, a la R4C3, C4R from before. As we've covered in the past, Hu Tao is the pole sitter and is safely in the lead for the time being. Thrasher is looking to steal fourth from Alice Carson. This is the most JDM battle I've ever seen. We have an Advan Skyline versus a Spoon S2000, and the S2000 is way faster in a straight. Goddamn, 171. Somewhere in the mess of cars... Oh, there we go. Taking evasive action is Sun Lao, our POV driver. My throat continues to oppose the continuation of this recording session, but it's just going to have to fucking deal with it. We got little gaggles of cars all over. We got like 5 cars on the way out of that left-hander. Just watch everybody pass under the Grand Hotel. I think it has a better name than that, but I don't really know what it is. I don't really care. Up to 14th for the RX-8. Might be 13th. Gets the runoff on Katsuragi there. Might, anyway. I don't know, actually. It's hard to tell from that camera angle. No, he didn't. Oh, we're adding burping into the mix, too. God. Anything else? Wow, has to make a wide berth to attempt to move on Colin Morris. It has to go the long way around as the 16 was going defensive. They make slight contact at the apex, but I think the RX-8 will win that in the long term, and indeed, that is what happened. Now setting up a move possibly on the 328 of Ryza Stout, but even if he does get it done here, I can't imagine he's going to be able to... Yeah, he's not even going to be able... Even if he could get it done, he's actually going to get a better exit, though, than the C63, but I think Ryza's still got the straight line speed to just negate that. Or maybe I know nothing, honestly. I guess that's just where we are. They're about dead even, close enough for Sun Lao to take a dive on the brake pedal. That is very close to contact, but it is clean, and he is through. Not an easy pass to make, especially to... I would have assumed a power disadvantage, but it didn't look like it. It is close for the lead too, still. Driver keeping Hu Tao honest. As the Nitro Knights look for their first win in quite some time. Barbara has not been herself this season, I must admit. Milu has grabbed a surprise win or two, actually, and she's been probably the most productive driver on the team. Hu Tao has kind of just been there, so this is the first time she's really shown any real performance. It helps that she started on the pole, but, you know, she does have to stay there. And Cam is starting to create a little bit of a train. Alice Carson not able to find a quick way by. Sun Lao using the Agile RX-8 to get ahead of the Bonneville, who actually slides the rears a lot. It's almost like you put a Corvette engine in that thing. Now under threat from Isabel in the Mustang. Oh, catches Thrasher asleep at the wheel. That's going to be P6 for the RX-8 at the exit of turn 2. Thrasher was not ready for the RX-8 in position. Carson tries a pass on Cameron, does not get it on the way in. Can she get the corner exit to get him on the way to the next turn, though? Or will somebody else pass her as Sun Lao is going to get ahead of Alice Timefield on the way out of that hairpin. He's not driving like he's got a power deficit, but I know he does. I looked at the specifications of that car. It's an RX-8. That thing weighs nothing, relatively speaking, as Carson barely holds off the 888 car. And the 400 makes a play for the podium positions, while the front two are still effectively nose to tail, but nothing's really changing, and I feel like I know exactly why that is. The Polestar 5's top speed is, well, it's not very good. It's an electric car. Sun Lao clears Cam on the way down to the long left-hander. DD Driver has the acceleration advantage, but that's it. Not really that good in the turns, and it's really good for the first 130 miles per hour, but once it gets over that, the acceleration starts to die off, while the Genesis, being not electric, has no such problems. We are already looking at the final lap here, and Sun Lao has arrived. He is right on the doorstep of the two lead cars. Rare on-board view from the race leader, heading underneath a gantry with her own company's logo on it. Oh, that is a huge slide, but Sun Lao doesn't even seem to be fazed by it. He drifts, literally drifts, into the race lead here at Yas Marina with effectively 3/4 of a lap to go. Down the inside goes the 157 car, absolutely blown away. She's got damage. I think they made contact when Hutao like lost control. Yeah, Hutao got too much on the brakes. Oh, it wasn't Sun Lao that hit her though. It must have been DD Driver hitting her on the way in. Yeah, big bulky electric car. Hutao probably didn't even want to go for that move. She was basically pushed into it by the electric car. And that also was going to hurt her straight line speed, the main advantage that she had over DD Driver. It's having to recalculate its route to try and find a way by the 157. Gets to the inside. Hutao moves over to try and just take the slipstream off of Sun Lao to try and get an advantage. It is a Chinese, it was a Chinese 1-2, but it looks like DD Driver has some other plans. The electric EV, yeah. The EV, not the electric V, moves to P2, well, back to P2 really. He tries to have a peek for a move on Sun Lao, but I don't think that that's going to happen. It almost did. Sun actually covered off the way into that to make sure he didn't get undercut. And now this is the section where the RX-8 should be good. It's the lightest car here in the top three, and it's not even close. So this slow speed section should be good for it, even if it doesn't have the all-wheel drive benefits of the other two. Hutao is stuck behind Driver and can't use her own all-wheel drive benefits, and Polestar is just too fucking heavy. Last turn, and Sun Lao is about to be a little less broke. He is a Challenge Series winner at Abu Dhabi. DD Driver second, Hutao third. Cameron will hold off a charging Alice Carson to stay in P4. And yeah, and then the sun rises. The sun rises for Sun Lao here in the desert. It's a very cloudy evening from the circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Fucking French. Don't want to overpronounce French things. How do the French people do that when their nose is congested? They must just literally be built different. I hate it. Anyway, the roulette race is at Spa. Fuck the rest of the name, honestly. But yeah, there's not much else to report. There was rain originally forecasted, but I think it kind of went away. We got super close to it. You can see just from the conditions at the start of the race. It's misty a little bit. It's a late evening mist. It looked like it could start raining any minute, but it just never did. And we are away from the Spa 24-hour layout, which basically just means we move the starting line. Koroleva will go from 3rd to 1st, probably because she is a 750 class car, and Yuzuha and Tony Jordan are not. Wanda Glass will do the same post-haste. Looks like Francisco Fedonzi also will. Mika Harris, but Francesca Fedonzi will not be so lucky. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how long it takes Mika Harris to get by the Toyota Supra. You can tell there's a Murcielago nearby. You may not always be able to see it, but you can absolutely hear it. Brandt already has damage. I barely even registered this contact when it happened. It didn't damage my car, but I guess the S13s are built different, as in wrong. Moving a ways ahead, Francesca is now going to fight Tony Jordan for the class lead through Puhan. Number Siegfried Brandt is a 715 class car, actually. So even though he's going to get ahead of Francesca here for a second, it doesn't really matter. Francesca's going to get her splitter, and Jordan forced to allow the space for that. But it's just absolute chaos. Here we got effectively four different classes as far as I'm concerned. Right in this spot. I'm of course stuck right in the middle of it. I'm trying to get by Francesca because I'm in a category above her. Not knowing Brandt has damage, so I'm not too concerned about him at the moment. Just because it's like, well, to me that's, I don't even know, dude. You can't classify that fucking thing. Harris versus Francisco at the bus stop. Not much space being given by either party, and Francisco, whether inadvertently or not, kind of moves the 32 aside, but she's not really that much fazed by it. Yeah, Shinozuka forcing Dom DePrisco off of the racetrack. And of course, I, being right in the middle of Shinozuka and Jordan, was very much like, I need to get ahead of this Supra. I don't want to be caught up in whatever bullshit these two purvey in the not-so-distant future. And that is what I do. Took a minute. And I definitely lost a lot of fucking time to Testarossa in the amount of time it took me to do so. Just caught the final bits of a pass for the lead on the replay as Wanda Glass sizes up Anastasia Koroleva, and is this going to be a pass at Rivage? Or Bruxelles? I've heard it like with 4 different names there. He just forces her bumper in. Koroleva cuts her slack, probably trying to avoid getting damage on her very expensive car, and the 9 car is the leader. Hansen passes the 675 leader, being the last in his category despite running in 5th place. Around now, I would get up to the back of Francesca, not Cisco. Francisco is up there. Once again, Hansen forcing Francisco onto the inside curb at the bus stop. Actually bumps into him on the way out of there, like that's his fault, that he pinched him onto the curbs. You can't go anywhere else, man. Would expect no less from him, to be fair. So it is a 5-6 for Scuderia Fedonzi. They're leading two of the categories in this race. Francisco leading 715 and Francesca leading 675, while ahead of the rest of 715, which to be fair is literally just myself and Brandt who got damage. Oh yeah, if you're wondering about the POV car, Lynette Molsen in a literal Renault Twingo, the only 525 car in the race, started dead last. And she's just vibing. That is why I've not brought up the POV car at all. Glass is gone. That is a pretty comfortable lead over the Enzo Ferrari. I don't know exactly to what degree, but I would say probably about 5 seconds. And then it's another 5 or 6 back to Mika Harris, and it's even further. Actually, no, it's about 2 or 3 back to Wayne Hansen from Harris. So the top 4 are very spread out. There's the cameraman waking up, seeing Francisco, who's been passed by his daughter. What is that Testarossa smoking? The fuck? I'm not sure why I was surprised to see it on the replay. Like, I didn't literally watch it happen in front of me, but yeah. I guess Francesca just broke later than Francisco, despite having the older, slower, or lower category car. She's just driving that thing out of her mind today. Unless Francisco has something to say about it, or I do, and spoiler alert, I honest to God didn't. I did not have the straight line speed to get ahead of either of these two cars. So, Francesca could actually be the 675 class winner and beat all the 715 class as well, but Testarossa is just that quick. Might be quicker than her actual 715 class F430. It certainly looks that way with the way that she's driving the Testarossa. Also, holy sunset, by the way. Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to get a freaking trackside camera to look at the sunset, and it's just like, no. Nuh-uh. The leaderboard crew did that a little wrong. Then again, to be fair, this is also just straight up wrong. So Winter Rose is disqualified from this race. And this is Winter Rose in this car. Storm is disqualified because why the fuck does he have Rebecca's number? Rebecca Johnson, not Rebecca Briggs. He never changed that number, I guess? I don't know. That's confusing, man. No wonder the leaderboard crew got it wrong. I got it wrong in the commentary box. I want to get a replay camera on this overtake for position between Shinozuka and Jordan. I just want to see if there wasn't some bullshit afoot, but it doesn't seem like there was. Yeah, no, Jordan just had no speed. And even Shinozuka, as much of a rage-baiting maniac as she is, didn't see any point in fucking with her. Instead, Dom DePrisco kind of did. Kind of stuck his nose in at Lake Holm. We jump ahead exactly a minute from the last time, where we last were in the replay, and it is now the dark of night. You cannot see a fucking thing out here in this forest because there's no light pollution anywhere. You have your headlights. Here, you can just get an onboard view from Wanda Glass here. What her headlights are lighting up is all she can see. If her headlights ain't shining on it, it might as well not even be there. This is advanced darkness, and it's not even that late in the evening. It's like 10. I think it's like 10 anyway. And yet Corlova still has to contend with somebody in this pitch darkness, as Wayne Hansen goes ahead of his teammate, / team owner, I think. I stuck with the Fidanzi crew for a bit. I tried to go for a move on Francisco. Obviously, I think Francisco was playing defense in this one. Obviously, I'm the one that he has to keep behind him for the category wins. The positions are positions. If I passed him, I could pass teammate / daughter. Dom DePrisco going for second in class on the Hellcat of Shinozuka, and that, I couldn't tell if they made contact with the Apex there or not. Time expires, so Ryza Stout will win the 640 class over effectively just her teammate, and then Winter in the car there in that Radical. So Ryza wins the category. Winter Rose. No. Fuck! Storm! This is Storm in this car with the wrong number. He is disqualified. That is the wrong number on that car. And Maki will win the 600 class, which only had... No, actually had 4 cars in it. It's just that was where all of Mercury went for this race. And if you're wondering if here is Mulsanne, obviously she wins the 525 class. She's the only car in it in this race. Jansen really narrowed the gap after getting ahead of Koroleva, but gonna be tough to make up that distance in the back straight of Spa, effectively. Ah, yeah, light after fucking life. Hey, there's the 525 class win. Let's see if the replay lasts long enough to let Juan de Glass cross to win overall. It looks like it will. Jesus. Yeah, here comes Juan de Glass, winning overall on Roulette Race. Wayne Hansen nearly got to her in the final minutes. Just took too long to get through the field on lap 1 or 2. And I eventually did get ahead of Francisco Fedonzi, but we both had nothing to offer the Testarossa. I think Francisco actually missed a braking point for, I think it was... I don't remember the fucking corner name, but it was the one after, like, home. The downhill right, he missed it, went wide, and just passed. But yeah, Francesco Fedonzi wins the 675 class, while also beating all of these also beating all of 715. I win the 715 class. Francisco's defense failed. Yeah, Riza wins 640. Maki wins 600. So she has a 100% podium rate technically, although it is a class podium. It is still a podium as counted in the books and whatnot. And obviously winning it and all that. Blah 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 blah. Siegfried Brandt gets to wear the dunce cap because he's the only car in 12 minutes of racing that got any amount of damage. And the funny Raw Racing sponsored Twingo got to exist, basically.